Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Court documents are out, but there's been a slight delay in charges being filed in a Fargo murder case.
44-year-old Sheldon Davis remains behind bars tonight, accused of killing 52-year-old Denise Anderson and possibly trying to cover it up by fire. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley joins us with details on what the documents say and what's behind the delay. Bailey?
Mike, Andrea, we first broke the arrest of Sheldon Davis on Thursday after I spoke exclusively with the man who turned Davis in. That same man gave the exact information to investigators that are detailed in a formal complaint filed about an hour ago. They say Davis went over to his friend Lenny Wild's house early Thursday morning, saying that he had done something bad. Wilds told police that Davis confessed to leaving the stove on at his apartment. He also says Davis talked before about wanting to kill Denise Anderson because of pending domestic and sexual assault charges she filed against him. When Sheldon Davis was arrested, he denied any involvement or to confessing anything to Lenny Wilds. It's noted that there was visible bruising on Davis's arm as well as a cut on his forehead. Davis gave no explanation for those injuries and declined to answer any other questions. Davis, however, had no problem denying any part of Anderson's death with Valley News Live on Friday. During our jailhouse interview, Davis said, quote, "Even if I thought I could get away with it, I wouldn't want to do it just for conscience sake." Andrea?
All right, thank you, Bailey. Sheldon Davis is scheduled to be formally charged with murder and arson tomorrow morning at 9. Valley News Live will be there.
After the morning rumblings and rain, temps warmed up back into the 80s in the valley. Let's find out if there'll be any more noise from Mother Nature tonight. And Hutch is here with your no-wait weather forecast. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much. We did get some rainfall out of those storms. You can see the track of the rain, and rain that fell in gauges amounted to a few hundredths of an inch in some locations, but where you see the colors, much more fell. We'll have more on that in just a second. Right now, those storms are working their way through southern parts of Minnesota as we are experiencing very quiet conditions now heading into the evening and overnight. Doppler estimates of rainfall showing about 3/4 of an inch just south of Fargo. Fergus Falls really getting hit pretty hard with measurements of 1.6 inches, estimates of over 2 in places. And from Devil's Lake south to northern parts of Stutsman County, healthy rainfall amounts over 1/2 of an inch estimated by Doppler radar there. Temperatures will be in the 70s for much of our evening with decreasing wind speeds, and it does look like mostly clear skies overnight. A little warmer in Grand Forks near 80 all the way up into the 8 o'clock hour. Now, thunderstorm chances do return, but not until tomorrow. I'll have details on when and where here in a minute.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
People are standing outside U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar's office in Moorhead at this hour saying enough is enough.
They're referring to 2 mass shootings, one in Texas, another in Ohio over the weekend that left over 30 people dead. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard joins us live from the scene with more. Callie?
Yeah, hi, Mike, Andrea. I'm here outside U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar's office. There's probably about 30 people or so out here just a little bit ago that were signing letters to legislators, and I'm here with one of the organizers of the event today to stop the violence and the hate. With Chad Johnson is his name. Can you tell me a little bit about what you want the outcome of an event like this to be?
We want our elected officials to support common sense gun legislation. It's time for universal background checks and other legislation that keeps us safe. Too many people are dying from gun violence in this country, and it's really time for a change.
And people were giving their speeches, they were reading poems. Some people were in tears. Can you tell me what people were saying?
We had a woman read a poem. Most of us are talking about how we're sick of seeing people die, and we're scared, and that there is no reason that we don't have better gun legislation in the country. It's not safe.
And stick with Valley News Live, as on the Fargo CW and Valley News Live 10 at 10, we'll have more about Amy Klobuchar's statement, as well as more from the people and the organizers of this event. Reporting live in Moorhead, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Callie. And as she referred to, we'll have more on the rally tonight on Fargo CW at 9 and on Valley News Live 10 at 10.
North Dakota U.S. Senator Kevin Cramer took to Twitter to share his response to the shootings. He says he's praying for the families who lost their loved ones this weekend, as well as law enforcement and first responders who are working tirelessly to bring safety and justice to these communities.
Many people are looking for ways to cope following this weekend's mass shootings. A family science extension specialist at NDSU tells us, especially for children, it can be extremely stressful to hear about violent events happening in everyday places they often go to. Sean Brotherson calls it vicarious trauma and says it affects all of us at any age. He says parents should reassure children during times like these and says both children and adults alike should not desensitize themselves to tragic incidents.
People are less likely to be desensitized and more likely to be empathetic to individuals who are hurt by violence when they know those individuals who are hurt by violence, when they hear their stories.
Hope, like attending a memorial service or donating to a fund or doing something good for your community.
And we will continue to stay with this story as it develops. You can always find the latest updates as they come in on our website, valleynewslive.com.
A familiar face is throwing his hat into the ring once again for the chance to represent Minnesota's values. Retired Air Force Major Dave Hughes announced he's running to represent Minnesota's 7th District in the U.S. House. Hughes sat down with us to talk about the issues he'll fight for, including gun control.
Our U.S. Constitution is clear. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And so right off the bat, I'll just tell you that if I make it into Congress, I will not abide any new infringements. So somebody can come out with something, restricting this, restricting that. I won't support it.
Hughes adds that the district's longtime incumbent, Colin Peterson, doesn't share his district's values. This is Hughes' 3rd time running against Peterson.
Now is your chance to talk with North Dakota Congressman Kelly Armstrong. He is holding 4 town hall meetings, including one right now in Mapleton. It got underway at Haggie's Bar and Grill just a few minutes ago and will continue until 7. This is a telephone town hall meeting where you can hear directly from Armstrong and ask questions. Other meetings were planned for Devil's Lake, Minot, and Beulah.
The census is coming in Thief River Falls, and so are census workers. Authorities have a warning for you tonight. Starting next week, census takers might swing by to ask you some questions about your address and home. They should have their official ID, which includes their name, a photo, and an expiration date. Do not give out any personal information, and if you feel uncomfortable, give authorities a call.
Clay County deputies are better outfitted to respond to incidents involving firearms. They have ballistic vests, which provide another layer of protection against heavy fire. The tactical gear was purchased through Bell Bank's Pay It Forward program.
Fargo's statue still missing after being stolen from her Main Avenue perch last week. The city says the case is inactive because there aren't any suspects and there are no plans to conduct searches involving dive teams.
You may have noticed you're paying less at the pump this week, and prices could continue to go down. The average price of a gallon of regular gas in North Dakota now costs $2.67. That's less than last week and lower than the national average of $2.71. AAA says prices could continue to dip due to slumping oil prices.